Georgia, and she's here to tell us about her vote. She's already got out there and voted. She's got her sticker. Sherry, how was your experience today?
Oh, my voting experience was great. I have a very small precinct, so I never have to wait in line, and that's why I didn't vote early, because I would have had to wait in line to do that. And I knew that my precinct, I just walk in, do my ID, and fill out everything, and I vote, and I'm out of there in just a few minutes. So it wasn't crowded. It wasn't bad at all. I didn't have to wait. They told me we had 144 voters so far, and that was probably about right at 12 noon.
All right, that is a pretty small precinct. Now, I know that you've
It,
got a long history of really supporting this nation, and your family has been involved in politics. Your father was a politician. Tell us a little bit
right.
about how just making a strong America is so important to you and how that's been passed down to you throughout the years.
Well, of course, I was raised in the South in the conservative ways, and yeah, and also with the politics. I learned a lot about politics and how things work through my dad. His name was Shelby Sims. He's passed away years ago, but he was involved in local and state politics here in the state of Georgia, and he did some good. He always was helpful in doing good, and I learned a lot from him about politics and about how to pick my candidate and why I would want that candidate to take the position over any other candidate. And I have my reasons, therefore, why I believe Trump is the right man for the job.
Sherry, tell us a little bit more about that. Tell us both your support of Trump and then also the Senate candidates that are, of course, very important in this upcoming election. Tell us what were some of the reasons you chose both Trump or Senate candidates, and why people out there should be voting for certain candidates.
Well, first of all, as far as President Trump goes, I voted for him in 2016. I voted for him again this time. I like his policies. I like the benefits I have received from him being in office. I believe, he's done so much in just the last 4 years. If we give him 4 more, it's going to be amazing. For instance, I was telling somebody this the other day. When is the last time gas was under $2 a gallon? Does anybody know? I know. 2004. 16 years since gas has been under $2 a gallon. Our economy has bounced back extremely quick from the COVID and the recession, and our unemployment rate is at the lowest it's ever been in history. These things mean something to me, and therefore that's why I believe he's going to be the right man for the job. As far as the Senate, I'm looking for more Republicans in the Senate, because I am a conservative, and I do honor the conservative values. They're the same values that I have, and it's important to me that we continue those values in this nation, this great nation of the USA. I grew up in a great time period where it was, and in the South, of course, we're in the Bible Belt, so we are more conservative, I think. And so I learned a lot, I gained a lot, and I just want it to be more like it was when I was growing up. I want it to be better rather than worse. And that's the reason I'm looking for or voting for these particular candidates.
That's wonderful. As far as policies, somebody who doesn't understand maybe they know who they're going to vote for president, but they don't understand maybe who to vote for senators. I've heard a lot of people. Okay, I know the president, but when it comes down to senators, why does that matter? What are the policies I'm voting for? What would you speak into some of the reasons it really matters that the Senate is also supporting the president?
Well, that's the exact thing that you just said it, because we need.
I think we're getting a little bit of a technical difficulty here. But as she was about to say, of course, it's really important.
Yes.
Yes, go on. We had a little bit of a technology hiccup, but about the Senate and the president's support.
Well, again, I just believe that it's best to have the people in there that's going to work well with the president, be willing to work as a team with each other, and also to keep their states in mind and their to work for the betterment of their own states.
That's right. And tell us why it's so important that each state is able to work the presidency from their own terms and also as a nation as a whole.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? There's a lot of
Sure.
traffic.
I was saying, can you tell us a little bit more about why it's so important that individual states are able to work with the presidency?
Well, I mean, obviously, you're going to get more done that way. You're going to have more benefits that from that way. I mean, it's very important that we come together as a whole, as a nation, to accomplish the things that need to be accomplished for each state. Each state is different. I know that each state has their own set of rules and laws, and it makes a difference though when we can all somehow meld all that into one thing and be for the betterment of our states, our local communities, and our country.
Thank you. Sherry, I'd
That
love to speak
question.
into Yes, I'd love to speak into the division that we're seeing in our country right now. Why do you think we have such far right, such far left, and how do you think we could come together as a nation and stop being so divided?
Well, I think that's a personal thing to start with, that each person in this nation needs to take that on themselves and say, look, I'm not going to allow this division to go on. I'm going to still be friends and neighbors with these people that vote differently than me, that believe differently than me. Um, and I feel like that's the starting point, is each personal uh, belief and feelings towards it. If everybody would put forth that effort, why is this division going on? It seems like ever since Trump threw his hat in the ring uh, before 2016 to run for president, there's been a lot of division, and I hate to say it, just plain hatred. And I don't really know why, except for my thoughts are that here this guy comes that's never been in politics, and he comes in out of nowhere, really, in a way. I mean, yes, we knew who he was because he is a famous man, but he was not. He has no political background, and I think people didn't like especially the people in political power, and the fact that he's not a pushover. So a lot of the politicians in those positions don't like him because of that, because he doesn't always agree with them, and because he doesn't always go their way. And the people that support those particular politicians just naturally are going to go against him for that reason. So we've had a great division in this country. It's awful. And being a Christian woman, I do believe that Satan's hand is in this also.
Right. And I love that what you said, that peace really begins in the individual hearts. And when one person is peaceful, this is the virus that spreads to others. We can really spread this good virus of peace and goodwill towards each other. Like you said, we can
Amen.
disagree,
That's
but we
right.
don't need to be disagreeable. We don't need to be upset with each other. And as a Christian, we can say that regardless of who is in the presidency, we know God is on the throne and God is going to use that person to move forward his will.
That's right. Amen. Yeah, he is the one in control. Bottom line, God is the one in control. I did have this many years ago. I had it put to me this way. I ran into an old friend, and I had asked him who he was voting for, and this was probably 2008, something like that. And he said to me, "It really doesn't matter to me who wins, because my president is a Jewish carpenter." And that always has rang true with me. And so I pray about my votes before I make them. I hope and pray that everyone else does too. Prays about their decisions, prays about their choices. I let God lead me in that. And that's another reason I have chosen the candidate I have, or the candidates I have, is a lot of them because of their Christian beliefs, their morals, their values, and the fact that they're willing to work for us, the people of this country, the backbone of this country. We're the ones that really matter in the end.
Absolutely.
We're the ones that support
Yes,
and
that's
keep this
right.
country.
That's right.
Yes,
We the citizens, the people of America, is what really makes America great. And when we can be peaceful with one another, when we can stand side by side and reach across the aisle when we have to, and vote our hearts and vote our morality and vote what really is in our hearts, and love and respect someone who has a different opinion than us. This is what really makes America a great place, full of diversity, full of
that is right.
people really working together to make it great.
That is so true. That is so true. I have many friends that are on the other side of the fence, but we keep that out of our friendship so that we remain friends. We don't discuss
That's
politics
right.
if that's the case. And that's fun and that's great because I'm not giving up the people I love because of politics. Don't get me wrong, but it's we need to all be more positive. We need to all be about the future, about what's happening now. We need to all come together again. It's very important. And no matter who wins this election, I hope everyone will take the stance I do, is that I'm still going to go on living my life. I'm still going to have friends and neighbors that voted differently than me. And I'm going to accept whoever is elected as the person in that position, and I'm not going to down them or say ugly things. I'm going to support them because that's our leaders, and we need to support our leaders, whether we agree with them all of the time or not. We never agree with anybody all of the time. I think that's what makes us, each of us, unique. If we were all the same and all thought the same and believed the same, it'd be pretty boring.
Absolutely. And Sherry, just before we go to commercial, if you had one thing to say to people out there who maybe haven't done their mail-in ballot yet or haven't been down to the polls, what would you encourage them for making sure they get out to vote today?
Well, I would just say, please get out and vote. Place your vote for whomever you feel is the best candidate for the position. Think about it long and hard, pray about it. But the main thing is you get out and cast your vote, because your vote is your voice. And it's the only way you're going to be heard. If you're not able to get out and go vote because you don't have a way, there are people providing rides to the polls. There's many ways you can do that. So if you can get out and vote, please go vote. Please don't wait to the last minute, because lines are going to be long, and I know there's always some kind of computer glitches show up. It's going to be a long night, and we're probably not even going to know all of the results or so. But the main thing, use your voice. Don't sit at home and complain and gripe about things if you're not going to get out there and vote. So please, let your
That's
voice be
right.
heard.
Well, thank you so much, Sherry, for coming on and sharing with us. The people out there watching, you are truly what makes America great. So we appreciate you for watching, and we appreciate that you're going out there and using your voice, just like Sherry said, and getting out there to vote. Thank you, Sherry. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you. And so, those of you who are watching live, I believe we have our next guest coming on just momentarily. And until